Coincidentally, as Elizabeth Warren is launching Matthew, the New York Times comes out with a pretty rough look back at the Bernie Sanders campaign. Let me put up this headline. New York Times: sexism claims from Bernie Sanders' 2016 run, paid less, treated worse. Bernie Sanders is asked about this article. Let me play for you his response.
I certainly apologize to any woman who felt that she was not treated appropriately. And of course, if I run, we will do better next time.
And just to be clear, you seem to indicate that you did not know at the time about the allegations. Is that correct?
Yes, I was a little bit busy running around the country trying to make the case.
Boy, that didn't seem like a good answer, did it?
He took some heat for that. And of course, Bernie Sanders and Elizabeth Warren will likely be competing over that same set of voters on the progressive side of the Democratic Party. When I look at Warren, you know, she's attracting high-level campaign talent. She certainly has the most policy chops and the most defined message of the candidates we're looking at right now on the left side, the progressive left side. But she does have this burden of having high name ID and low personal favorability.
Donna, she's in Iowa this weekend. She was asked about the infamous DNA test. Very interesting the way she responded to a voter. A voter asked her this, not a reporter. Take a listen.
Yeah, well, you know, I'm glad you asked that question. I genuinely am, and I'm glad for us to have a chance to talk about it. I am not a person of color. I am not a citizen of a tribe. Tribal citizenship is very different from ancestry.
How's she handled this?
Well, I mean, I actually think that she understands that she's going to be asked the question. She understands that she has to reframe it a little bit differently. And I actually think that that right there was the closest that she has come to acknowledging that she'd misstepped in the past. And I think this is going to be, you know, a story that's not going to be there for the long term. She does have those policy chops that people are looking for. But also, I don't think the era of identity politics is over, because for a lot of women, for people of color who are the base of the Democratic Party, our identity is our politics.
You know,
I think that's absolutely right.
that comment reminds me, it's really hard to catch lightning in a bottle twice. Warren's moment, I think, was 4 years ago. There was a lot of momentum. She was the new face. Bernie Sanders was the new face. Now there actually are a lot of new faces. Right. And this is a moment where you feel generational turns, you feel demographic turns, you feel a lot of people looking to the future. I think it's going to be hard for both Senator Warren and Sanders to come back and be au courant.
That seems to be her biggest problem, is that she's not new.
Well, no, right.
As far as,
I think, led out of 12 options in a recent poll. It was someone new, and it's despite all these choices they have. Right. So who that person is, we've yet to see.
And I do think there is a huge argument for a woman candidate as well, if you look at the women in the House and that excitement that we saw this week.
There's no question about that. The question is, will the final two both be women? That would be an interesting development. That's all we have for today.